Welcome, everyone, to episode 52 of the Short Wheelbase podcast. In this episode, we continue the RT takeover, and I point at things with this push rod.
The BMW Motorcycle Owners of America present the Airhead 247 Short Wheelbase. With members in all 50 states, Canada, and across the globe, the BMW MOA invites you to ride inspired. Learn more about membership benefits, including roadside assistance, tire hazard protection, and more at bmwmoa.org. The Short Wheelbase is also brought to you by Boxer 2 Valve, supplier of quality OEM and aftermarket parts and specialty tools, and by Barrington Motor Works, offering mail-order component repair and in-house mechanical services for vintage and classic BMW motorcycles. On the web at barringtonmotorworks.com.
That's right, folks. The RT takeover of the Short Wheelbase continues this week with my RT. And that's the one you're seeing right here behind me, my 1983 R80 RT, which I purchased somewhat recently without an RT fairing. And it's not a great condition. It was running and riding, but it wasn't really ready to take on a big trip like the RTAF trip that we just got back from recently. It was a 1,500-mile trip, and I will have an episode ready for that soon, so you can see what failed, what bikes didn't work, what we had to fix. Did we even finish all 1,500 miles? Did we have to reroute just to get home safely? All of that is coming soon. We have several hundred hours of video footage from that trip that we're working through, and I will present that to you here as soon as I can. But in the meantime, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about what it took to take this bike from what it used to be to the mile muncher that it is today. So that is what we're going to roll into. Before I do that, though, folks, I just want to say thank you to the BMW MOA. As always, please use the link in the description below and sign up for a free membership. The code to get that free membership is listed with the link as well. Please sign up. They're amazing, and they can kind of help you out if you have issues on a long road trip like the RTAF trip I was alluding to just moments ago. So without further ado, let's jump right into making a mile muncher. Ursula, the R80 RT. Until next time, ride safe. Well, folks, here she is, my 1983 R80 RT, better known as Ursula. This is one of the 3 bikes I picked up back in episode 47 when Brandon Reams and I went down to Creede, Colorado and rescued 3 bikes and a whole mess of parts. Jump back to episode 47 if you want to check that out. But here it is after about 30 days of thrashing. Obviously, this bike did not come to me in this condition. It didn't even have this RT fairing on it when I picked it up. That was a gift, if you will, from a friend of mine, Craig. He's a friend I know through my time doing Lemons racing and Datsuns. He was kind enough to give me the fairing that's on this bike now. But I wanted to kind of take some time and walk through what I did in the last 30 days to prepare this bike for the RTAF trip that we did, where we rode 1,500 miles up through Yellowstone and Wyoming and back to Denver. Where did this bike start? Let's take a quick step back and take a look at what it was looking like when it came into my garage. As you can see, of course, it needed to be washed. You can see no RT fairing, narrow bars, bar end mirrors, no exhaust. I did take those exhausts off before doing this video. And here it is today. RT fairing, full exhaust, bags, ready to take on the road. So what did it take to get this bike to look like this? Let's kind of walk around and I'll talk through some of the things that I did, and we'll jump into some additional videos and photos to kind of explain what went on into this one. As we walk around here, obviously the bags and things like that, those came with the purchase, so just needed to clip those on to get ready for the trip. A couple other things that might be standing out: no lowers on the RT fairing. I do have those lowers, but man, I don't know. I just kind of like it without them. And, you know, the plan is to ride this thing in the summer, so I just wanted as much airflow as possible. Speaking of airflow, that windshield, you can see there's a vent in the center of it. That is actually from a Goldwing. Ordered that up, cut a hole in the windshield and mounted that up to get a little bit of extra air conditioning, if you will. Coming around, you can see everything's kind of in order now. It was a little dirty before. It's a lot cleaner now. Full disclosure, I did not clean the bike prior to doing this video. You might notice some stickers. If you follow me on Instagram, the sticker there on the windshield, you'll know I put that sticker on during the RTAF trip a few weeks back. So yes, I am filming this after the trip. I'm hoping not to give away any spoilers by doing that. What I'm pointing at here with this push rod is the 7-inch Jeep headlight that I adapted to fit into the headlight ring. I'll throw a link into the 3D print file for that. It's not my file. Go check it out. As you can see, I had to take apart the whole front end of the bike, mostly because of this right here. The steering head bearings were pretty much a mess. All notched races, just overall in bad shape. So took everything apart, threw some new bearings in there, threw some new races in the frame, got that all dialed in so that way we could, properly go down the highway. Also threw on a clamping top triple tree that you see here. Threw that on the bike, put some RT bars on it. You can see I started the fairing bracket together there. While I had all this apart, tore apart the forks. You can see there's a spacer, and that's the mess that I found inside the forks when I dumped them out. Of course, took some time, got everything aligned. Don't want any stiction on there, so I've got the forks all dialed in. Things go up and down nice. And on the first bike I've ever owned, I now have a working steering damper. I had to buy a new one, put it all back together again, but it's the first bike I've ever owned with one. Next up in line, we've got the brakes. Brakes were okay, but I wanted to make sure I had the best brakes possible, so I tore these things completely apart. New seals, new pads, new everything. Good as new. And obviously had to bleed everything once I got them together. Moving back away from the forks, you can see that there's, right here, some headers on the ground. I had to cut the old headers off. They were so rusted and rotten, they just got thrown in the trash. We did a new neutral switch because that thing was leaking everywhere, as well as a new oil pressure switch and new clutch cable. You can see hanging there. I like to do this on most of my bikes. I just throw a new starter in, man. I just like the newer starters. They work so much better. I had to do a pinion seal on the final drive. At this point, it was pretty much ready to start this thing up. So I'm going to cut the music and let's listen to this engine purr. So it's worth noting that this was pre-carb adjustment. I did do the valves and check timing, but otherwise that just fired right up. Once I could confirm that it was running, I went ahead and started putting the fairing parts together that you can see here, the grips on, kind of getting it into its final form. Here I have the lights. I'm testing those out. I'm trying to make sure everything's working. You can see here a little bit of a close-up of that vent I mentioned earlier and some of the things going on in the cockpit. We'll circle back to that in a few minutes here, but there is a voltmeter that I just pointed out in the video that was added. Let's see here. We've got all new fuel lines that I put on, trying out these new clear ones. Eventually I did balance the carbs. I did put a new air filter in. All the standard stuff got done. Here we come around. You can see that, again, I did not wash the bike, and it did do a pretty big trip, so it's a little dirty. Coming around here, you might notice these are stainless mufflers with a little bit more of an open exhaust end to them, so they are a little bit throatier, but totally within reason. Of course, as part of this, brand new tires, front and back on this one. Did some road classics. Working good so far. What else? We did a LED taillight conversion. Also, something I like to do on my bikes that I tour on, I cut the fender. That's just so that I can make it a little bit easier. If I need to do a tire change, I can get things off and on a little bit easier. Additionally, this fender was really jacked up, so I actually ended up cutting out some damage, as well as finding more damage under that taillight, which I spent a little bit of extra time fiberglass that back together after I cut the lower section off. So it's all in one piece again. It's functioning correctly. I'm pretty happy with it. See here, we have obviously the bags. I use this leather bag here for straps, bungees, stuff I need to get access to. Folks, run straps on your BMW Airhead bags. Just do it. Don't let your laundry go down the road. Underneath the seat here in the back, I have a full extra charging system, voltage regulator, and ignition system hidden just in case this thing craps out on me somewhere. Under there, I have some additional tools in the standard tool tray, as well as the factory toolkit. Just highlighting some stickers here. Coming back around, you can see the headlights on in this case. This is the low beam. It just lights up the top half. High beam lights up both. Works really, really well. I can't recommend that more. The mirrors are actually RS mirrors that I'm currently borrowing from Brandon Reams. He was kind enough to loan these to me while I find a better set. But I do love those little fisheyes in the corner. I need to get a set of those in the future too. Here's the cockpit. You can see I've got my quad lock, and it's all wired into this micro fuse adapter that I wired to the battery, and it's keyed to the ignition. That helps me run my 360 camera. I can run chargers various places. You might have also noticed some wonkiness with my cases in the fairing itself. And you can see here I had to kind of MacGyver myself a way to keep these shut since I don't have keys for this actual fairing. And last but certainly not least, my little turtle buddy cruised with me. Super fun. You got to have a little mascot on your bike. There it is, folks. Ursula R80 RT. And I'm taking on the RTAF trip. Please tune into that. It's coming soon. I'm working through hours and hours and hours of footage from that. Can't wait to get that in front of you guys. It was a super fun trip. And I'm really excited to reveal whether or not this bike made it the whole way, part of the way. Did we have to modify the trip at all? Did we have to modify the bikes at all on the trip to make it home? All coming soon. So tune into that one. It's coming soon. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us on the Short Wheelbase podcast, presented by the BMW Motorcycle Owners of America. To join the club, visit bmwmoa.org. You can find full-length episodes of the excerpts heard here on the Airhead 247 podcast. The Short Wheelbase podcast is produced and edited by Nick Malozzi. Audio segments by Jeff Glover. You can check in with Nick at Airhead Misfits on Instagram.